How's it going, guys, gals, and non-binary pals? Welcome to the Casually Competitive Podcast. Holds for applause. Applause doesn't come. It's okay. I'm your host, Tyler. 953. I'm very
angry. Broke him already.
Because I was holding for applause. I did it right for the first time.
He finally got the name of the podcast correct right out the gate, and he still got broken anyway.
Yep, that's Aaron Luck.
You hate to
reset the router.
Reset the router.
Technical difficulties.
We're not doing that. My name is Tyler953, aka Aaron. I have next to me my brother who has the crispest of salute poses. Heart of a Hero, aka Brendan.
Heyo.
Next to him in the giant gambit is Soul Reaper 6902, aka Dave.
Hello.
And on the right, the dude 428, aka Randy.
Hey, bub.
Okay, so we have a long list today, and I kind of want to try to get all of it in as possible.
I'm going to go on record telling you that half of the stuff in this particular podcast, I said we could spend an entire podcast talking about each topic.
Honestly, yes. Yes, we could. But hey, like I said, if we don't get through all of it, that's totally fine. But, you know, we're going to try. So there be that. One thing I do actually like, and as you guys can all see, we are back into Times Square. The issue that they originally had with the audio for the actual billboards has been fixed, which means you're only hearing us as opposed to all of the fucking ambiance behind us, which is great. Let's talk about the man himself starting off. Deadpool dropped, literally 3 days ago? 4 days ago?
It
was Friday.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's been 4 days.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
4 days ago, Deadpool dropped. And man's kind of changed the way the game is played just a little bit, which is kind of great. One thing that's really, really fantastic about him is that he is in all roles, just like we here at the podcast predicted. Except we couldn't have predicted how they did it, because you're able to choose a tank pool, a heal pool, and a regular DPS pool, but although your abilities are the same, like Brendan kind of suggested, the actual effects that happen with the abilities are different. Let's just go around the table real quick and just talk about the Merc with the mouth who literally won't shut the fuck up. Dave, you've been playing a lot of DPS pool. How do you like him?
He's cool. He's a lot of fun, especially like when you can jump on somebody's head and get an actual speed boost out of it. I think that part is dope.
Mario pool.
You definitely have to be accurate with his pistols because the timing between shots can mess you up. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I think he's really good, and he can definitely. I think he needs some tweaks, but he's definitely fun to play, and he can do a lot.
Like tweaks in the sense of like Deadpool proper, like all three of them, or just specifically DPS pool?
Just specifically DPS pool. Honestly, I've only played DPS pool and tank pool. Tank pool feels great, especially when he throws his shield out. I think that is amazing, and it works so well. But I feel like the DPS pool could do a little more.
So speaking of tank pool, I actually have been playing a lot of tank pool recently, just because the 500 health is nothing to sneeze at, and it gives you all the same proper abilities, like playing as Deadpool with the guns and the swords and everything, except you have room to fuck up without it fully impacting the team. And I do agree, the unicorn itself is actually pretty cutesy.
It's a great little thing. It's a great gimmick.
Yeah, it's a great gimmick. Brendan, have you played Deadpool?
I have played 3 rounds of Deadpool, and I've played a lot against Deadpool because we've never had a match without a Deadpool in it.
Yeah.
I can say, with Deadpool now being in the game, he is easily the most aggressive tank, bar none. Like, it's not even close. And whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I genuinely believe that it helps the tank role pick up the pace, just because the only tank that had any form of genuine speed as far as combat was Cap, and that's only when you know how to really use him.
Yeah.
So it's cool that the tank role has a character that can kind of get in and get out and get really crazy with the combos and the slicing things up. with Tank Pool, there's a lot of bouncing to get extra jumps. The fact that he has a double jump as a character that attacks as much as he does is kind of insane on paper. Like you wouldn't think a game like this, like a double jump would matter that much, but with someone as aggressive as Deadpool, that double jump is kind of crazy.
And it's not even really a double jump because it's a double jump into a straight up ability that has you jumping on top of like Mario jumping on top of like enemies and allies' heads. So like in a team fight, also too, he has these like his twin blades, whatever. He has a literal ability that if he hits somebody with it, he will basically bounce off of top of them, and they can then hit them again. And if you're DPS pool, you can basically keep that going infinitely. Tank and support or heal pool, they can only really do it like 6 times total. But even still, like that's just he's a cartoon fucking character, and I love that they understood the assignment. They literally understood the assignment. Just like, hey, we're gonna make a cartoon character. It's gonna be great, and if you love it, you love it. If you hate it, I don't know what to tell you.
I will say his dash attack that leads into the jump only happens if you have the upgrade for the swords.
Yes. Randy, have you played Heal Pool? Or what Deadpools have you actually played?
I've played all 3. I have not played much of Deadpool. I played just enough to, I think, get a feel for him. I know Aaron and you and I had words about this last night. I think Heal Pool is the best. With a close second being Tank Pool. I personally believe there is no point to playing Fight Pool. I get it. I know he does more damage, but like, if you're gonna play Fight Pool, just play Heal Pool, because at least even if you're already running like 2 supports, play Heal Pool, because then you'll still be doing damage to the enemy. It might not be that as much, granted, but you'll still accidentally backup heal.
Because Heal Pool kind of like I don't know. I do like Heal Pool. He's fine. I don't know. I guess it's kind of like a to each his own type situation, where it's like each Deadpool kind of brings their own little thing to the table, and then it really depends on like the person's personality of like what they want out of the character. I definitely prefer Tank Pool over the others, just because I feel like Heal Pool doesn't. He heals fine, but it's still not enough if your team is kind of getting like really overwhelmed. Like he feels a lot like a rocket,
Yep.
and it's definitely one of those like Heal Pool kind of feels like that, where he kind of fits in, at least in my eyes, as the rocket type, as the the mantis type or whatever. Where it's just like, hey, he definitely can heal a lot. He definitely can do a lot. The issue, at least with me, is when it comes to that burst healing or like the sustained healing of constantly keeping everyone upright. You really can't have that. We actually just played a game literally like 10 seconds ago at time of recording, where I started out the game as Heal Pool. We were playing on the 2099 push the payload map. During the actual they have to actually capture it. We had a penny and I was Heal Pool and it was great. And we were able to kind of hold that a lot better, which was cool. Heal Pool worked out fine. But the second they broke through, and then we had to actually push the payload, whatever, I had to switch over to Jeff. Because Heal Pool might be better in domination maps where you're not going anywhere. But as soon as you have to start moving and kind of you can't stand in one place any longer, he loses his luster, I guess. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Like I said, it's at time of recording, it's still really, really early on. So people will eventually figure out what works and what kind of doesn't. I am glad, in which case, that you can choose one of the 3 and generally be fine. It's not just what we originally thought of, which is DPS pool is going to be the best thing ever, and then everything else is going to be kind of trash. They actually did take.
They really did a good job with this. Like you said, it's really up to whatever you are feeling person to person most comfortable with. They really did kind of tailor Deadpool to be a subjective thing.
Yeah, which is great. Now that we've said some of their praises real quick, let's talk about some of the potential downsides. The complicatedness of heroes like Deadpool. So if you were actually to hold up his actual ability list, it looks like a jumbled fucking mess of just words. And honestly, he seems complicated from Jump Street, and to some extent he kind of is. Do we feel in which case that I don't want to say this is bad for the game, but like, do we feel
You
it
feel
was?
like this is a slippery slope to making the game a little more complicated than it needs to be?
Yes, realistically. Like, do we? Because like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy complicated characters because it means that you have inadvertently more content to figure out. But at the same time, the downside of that is people aren't as likely to pick the character up because that character is way too complicated. Like Katie, for instance, won't really even go near Angela because Angela seems complicated to her. Same principle could be said for Deadpool. Like you jump in the practice range or whatever, you pop up his abilities, and you see like literally 3 pages worth of information, and you're just like, wait, what? Also, too, by the way, this is one of the 3 different versions of the same character. I don't know, Brendan. Tell me, is Deadpool a good example, or do we want them to kind of go back to like the square one of like someone like a Rocket?
So Deadpool is a good example. I think Deadpool is fine, especially when you keep into account that this is literally just a choice. It's like, hey, you have 3 different versions of Deadpool. Which one do you want to play? If you don't like the way one plays, go to the other one. If you don't like that one, go to the other one. If all 3 don't work, then maybe you just don't need to be playing Deadpool. It's one of those things where it's not something that's obviously going to be a regular occurrence. Like this is something that they've only done with Deadpool, and I'm hoping that they don't make this a regular thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So where Deadpool is now, he's fine, especially because it makes him unique. It's when we potentially throw this on other characters other than Deadpool when it turns into, okay, now you're just showing us you don't know how to make a decision, and it
Yeah.
looks kind of iffy.
Whereas like Colossus has like 5 different pages to explain like 7 different moves or some crap like that.
That doesn't really bother me as much just because that turns into a dedication thing. You see that, for example, you lorded Gambit. Gambit, when he first came out to a lot of people, seemed like he had a lot going on. And that's because
He
at the
does have a
surface,
lot going
he
on.
does have a lot going on. But you took the time, you figured it out, you dedicated the time to get him to where you wanted to get him, and now you know and understand his kit to play him in an effective way. It's a reward for those who want to learn. If it's weird and it's complicated and you don't like it, don't do it.
I mean, like going back to the Gambit thing because they dropped Gambit or whatever, who also has like 2 or 3 pages worth of Well, it really has like 2 pages worth of extra information. They dropped Rogue, who also kind of is decently complicated-ish, and then they immediately dropped Deadpool. I don't know. It just 3 looks like a pattern to me.
I think and I hope that Deadpool is going to be the one and done of this style. At least very much of this complexity. I'm sure the devs, when it came to Deadpool, were taking that with the same seriousness. So that's why Deadpool is this over the top because hey, it's Deadpool. Of course it's over the top. I'm not terribly worried that the next set of characters are going to be anywhere near this level of over the top. The Gambit level of over the top, the Gambit level of complicated, maybe. But as I said before, things we thought were complicated when they came out, we learned them. It was fine. We moved on.
Speaking of moving on, a lot of people are kind of complaining that you can't necessarily ban out Deadpool fully because like each of his characters is technically their own individual entity. So like Tank Pool is his own individual entity, DPS Pool same principle. Do we think that the devs should change that? Because the devs originally came out and they said, hey, that's kind of the point. Like you can't fully ban out Deadpool or whatever. You kind of just learn how to live with him. Do we think it's one of those things where it's like maybe the devs should just push a single button that you can ban the entire Deadpool, or is it just this is higher than our pay grade here at like the casual competitive side of things, or what?
I would personally just ban all 3 Deadpools outright. You pick Deadpool, you ban all 3 Deadpools. If I'm picking Deadpool to ban him, I think it's stupid that I basically have to use 3 ban slots to get rid of one character. If I'm getting rid of Deadpool, I don't want to deal with any form of Deadpool. I didn't. No, just get rid of all 3 of them. I think I know they're trying to commit to a bit, but the bit's not funny when it's messing with my elo. Get rid of all the Deadpool.
Speaking of bans, they have, and I'm going to throw this up on screen, it's a Twitter post, mentioned which is they're going to actually be banning Lord Farmers. Now, for starters, they mentioned that if you're caught kind of Lord farming for the most part, it's a, they basically say like it's a penalty or whatever, and then it will escalate up to banning your account. Lord farming, for those of us who don't actually know, it's basically the act of usually jumping to either like a Doom match or even just some like normal just quick play matches and kind of just sitting AFK and just kind of gaining the points.
Just collecting the 15-minute times.
Just collecting the 15-minute timers. A Groot or whatever who's standing on a health pack and everyone's just kind of dealing damage to him. By the time the health pack comes back up, whatever, the Groot will then heal up and then you can keep doing that basically. Basically, basically, Lord farming has been a problem in this game since the inception of the Lord icons, and in my personal opinion, it's about time they kind of jumped onto that because we've made the joke of the lore accurate Spider-Man, and all Lord Spider-Man pictures always just are trash because they're probably Lord farmers who just got this picture just to say, hey, we've got it. When it comes to banning them, I'm pretty good with it. I don't know anyone else here who wouldn't be. This whole conversation really just kind of goes into one giant bubble, which is the fact that they actually changed the Lord icon proficiency system. They changed it so this way as opposed to beforehand where you basically went from like, you know, agent, I don't remember the rest of them.
Agent, Knight, Captain, Centurion, Lord.
Exactly. They changed it from that system to this new system, which basically looks kind of like a little mini battle pass. Anyone that's played any Call of Duty ever, it's the same base proficiency system. You basically do stuff to get points. Those points then go towards opening up prizes and a single level thing that actually ticks up. On screen now, because I'll just throw it up there, is basically kind of what it shows of what you actually can get. One cool thing is the factor that in order to identify, hey, you're not just a Lord, you're also a Lord with additional aesthetics, is the fact that your icon will physically have a little badge on it, and that badge will kind of represent, oh, I'm not just a Lord Jeff, I'm a Lord Jeff that is level...
Prestige play.
Yeah, I'm basically a prestige Jeff, like, you know, once. And then moving on from that, there's another badge, which is like the purple one, and then after the purple one, you get the animated, Lord icon, which looks sick.
Shit.
It looks sick. And then after that, there's actually the red badge, which is basically your level like 60 or some shit like that. And then finally, you get the actual like little icon, or not icon, the
legendary,
the thing on your actual nameplate, which is legend,
title.
Which basically says like, you know, legendary, insert character's name here.
Legendary Jeff the Landshark.
Yeah. My only small critique is that with Punisher, it says legendary the Punisher, which I'm not.
Legendary the Thing.
Yeah, I'm not okay with that. I don't know, that's on my own personal little, just like, that doesn't look right. I understand why it's that, but at the same time, no. I actually have not checked Hulk's, and I probably should, because in the game he's labeled under Bruce Banner, so if it says legendary Bruce Banner, I'm gonna crash out.
Legendary Bruce Banner.
I actually don't know. I didn't check. I just looked at just for the Lord icon. I didn't actually look to see what his actual thing was. Up on screen, I'll be yelling if I'm crashing out or not. It's fine. But no, the Lord icons, the legendary ones look really, really cool. They're flashy. We've run into a few people with it.
Aaron?
Yeah?
Aaron?
Am I going to be crashing out?
Hey.
Not him leaving to go look.
Because I'm curious.
Yeah,
If I wasn't recording, I'd be going looking as well.
Fuck level 70. Aaron, stop at level 60 because it says Immortal Hulk.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, level 70 is Legendary Hulk.
Okay. Okay.
Let's take a breath. No, but you're right. It made me think about it. Like, it is Bruce Banner.
Yeah, it's Bruce Banner. Thank you for checking that. But yeah, the proficiency system is fantastic. I do like the fact that it actually gives us, who have legends, a lot more to do. Because Danny, our friend Danny, for instance, he kind of had this thing where, like, once he lowered a character, he just stopped. playing that character. And the main reason why is because
Well, I mean, there's a lot of us who are like that. I once I loaded Wolverine, I stopped playing Wolverine for a good while. I stopped playing Squirrel Girl for a good while because there was no incentive.
yeah,
In comp, I would go Lord, because that's the
yeah,
higher stakes and everything. But quick play, fuck it.
yeah. Now there's actually considerably more stuff. Plus, just if nothing else, they just give you free coins just for playing the characters you're going to be playing anyway. Why wouldn't you? And one thing that I love, and I mentioned this in the last game that we just played, is that we're seeing a lot more lords showing up. And I like that, because it's the lore pictures are beautiful and they're really really pretty. It's something that's no other game, at least from my memory, has for like a MOBA or not MOBA, haha, a picking a character style way of doing things of a lore picture. It's cool, and it kind of annoyed me that people weren't using them. So now it's like, hey, we're actually using them. The downside, at least in my opinion, is that it's the threat level becomes a little bit more interesting because you can see hey, he's a Lord Jeff, whatever, we're all Lord Jeffs, no, Cloak and Dagger, oh cool, we're
Lord
all
Cloak and Dagger,
we're all Lord Cloak and Daggers, cool.
But
if you see a Lord Cloak and Dagger with a badge, even the one that I have on Jeff, the little blue one, you're like, oh, they're like a more serious Cloak and Dagger than just like a regular. They didn't stop at Lord. I've been seeing a lot more Lord, double Lord Cloak and Daggers that have the animated picture. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little threatening because I'm just like, wait, they legit know what they're doing. Hang on,
they are Cloak and Dagger.
They are Cloak and
the world every day when they wake up, eat, sleep, and breathe us against the world.
It's more of a skill check if nothing else, but also just it gets you more excited to play the characters again because it's okay, yeah, I've got something to prove now. I've actually I can show off what I'm actually doing. That being said, and once again, just back to the downside of things, there are a lot of the, I don't want to say streamers because it really isn't them, but a lot of the clip farmers and stuff like that. They've been posting about how people are complaining with quotation marks about how long theoretically it is to get level 70 because they're like, oh, if we did the math and if you're just doing playtime, getting level 70 from 0 is going to take you 19 years, some crap like that, without understanding the principle that most people aren't just doing it for the time because
that's clickbait.
Exactly. And I definitely want to ensure everyone, for the most part, that it's ignore that, play the character like you would normally. When it comes to getting lures for your healers, it's literally just hey, you're gonna be healing as well as playing playtime, as well as I think it's taking damage or something. I'm not sure what the last one is. Getting assists. You're gonna be doing that naturally. So you're gonna be leveling up considerably faster, Dave. Because you were playing. What is your level with Deadpool? Do you know?
I think 18, between 15 and 18.
Yeah, and man,
you're already almost Lord Deadpool.
Yeah, and man just came out because they rechanged the system to basically being, as opposed to it being unique, where it's Cloak and Dagger, for instance, you had to hit people with a Terror Cape and you actually gain points. Now it's just, hey, playtime, heal, damage, or kills and assists for healers. DPS, it's playtime, dealing damage, kills and assists, I believe.
Finals.
Oh yeah,
and then
finals.
for tanks, it's just
playtime, damage taken,
damage blocked, and
I think it's also,
elimination.
Yeah, elimination. Some of that. It's very simple. It's very
for every single character. It's essentially play the fucking game.
To some extent, I'm not really happy with that because it does take away some of the. Actually, Brendan, you mentioned it better. How it takes away a lot of the skill expression.
Yeah, just because overall. So my thing is with the new system, the only complaint that I have with the new system is that they changed the point values, which I don't really like, especially considering that if you're going to give us all these extra levels anyway, there was no real reason for you to drastically drop the point values like you did. Do I think it's going to take as long as the internet is quote unquote saying it is? No, absolutely not. It's not going to take that freaking long.
Yeah.
But for you to drop the point values to that degree, I think causes a problem. There was a point in time where I was like, maybe taking this away is going to change skill expression for individual characters. But the fact of the matter is, because they added things like the badges and the titles and the animated Lord icons, that is the epitome of skill expression. You got this point because you wanted to lock in with this character.
Yeah.
If there was ever a way for you to show the day I get that animated Captain America icon, I don't care about what nothing nobody says ever again. Ever.
I kind of agree with Brendan, and I know this has been talked about before, and admittedly, I don't know how they could, how the right way to go about this. I'm going to be upfront with that. But what I would have liked to have seen, and I think a few of us would have agreed, from level 1 to level 20, right? Until you hit Lord, it would have been nice to keep those individual character proficiency sets as part of the thing. Like Cloak, you have to use the Terror Cloak. With Wolverine, it's tackling people to the ground with the Feral Leap. That fourth ability that they removed from every character until you get Lord, I think it should be reinstated because that ability was like, oh, this is what I need to, if I'm playing Squirrel Girl, I need to make sure I'm keeping a focus on the stun, the squirrel blockade ability. That's a useful ability. It's not getting utilized. I need to make sure I'm utilizing it to make sure I'm being an efficient, a good, skilled squirrel girl. And then once you would hit Lord status, from level 20 to level 70, it can be the three tier thing. It's fine because at Lord, you've been playing the character long enough. You know what they're about. You've had your hand held. All right, now it's growing up time. Let's see what you can do out there. You're on your own.
Yeah, the training
It
wheels
would
will
have
come
been
off.
really cool. Yeah.
I do agree that they could have basically like, hey, we're keeping the old system up until level 20. That once you hit level 20, congratulations, welcome to the big leagues. Like, here's an easier time of it to coast to the rest of the actual to the
Maybe
rest of it. Yeah.
maybe instead of 15 points for getting KOs and assists with Cloak and Dagger, it's until level 20 you get 10 points for a certain number of Terror Cloaks and 10 points for the KOs and assists.
Yeah.
And then once you hit level 20, those two fall away and it's just the KOs and assists and it's 15 points. Spitballing.
Yeah, yeah. Last topic basically kind of goes into Deadpool himself. So, or not Deadpool, but like his breaking of the fourth wall. So Deadpool talks a lot in game. He's talking to Galacta. He's talking to which.
Okay.
But actually, let's switch over to that real quick. Deadpool and Galacta. How do we feel about Deadpool talking all the time? Like, making comments to Galacta, having Galacta talk basically back, so for that sense. Do we find that annoying? Do we want it to continue? Like, what?
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
During the holidays, Wawa would do Christmas music, but they would do it every third song. And I was always impressed. Like they did it right. They kept the regular music, and it's like every third song you go, "Wow, neat," and you weren't bothered because it was once in a while. It wasn't shoved down your throat. Can you see where I'm going with this? Stop me if you've heard this one before.
So Randy's in the camp of Deadpool needs to shut the fuck up. Brendan, what's your thoughts?
Once in a while, it's fine.
I think Deadpool is Deadpool and he's never going to shut the fuck up. I always find it funny just because I already don't like Galacta and having somebody basically tell her, hey, bitch, you're not the only one who can talk, satisfies me. It makes me happy. However, with that being said, since season 0, we've been asking for a Galacta shut the fuck up button.
Yeah.
Now we're at a point where we know both a Galacta shut the fuck up button and a Deadpool shut the fuck up button. So just give us the option to turn it off. I don't care that it's there. I like that it's there. Just give us the option to turn it off.
I agree that maybe it shouldn't be every match. I do think that some of it's funny. Like in the middle of the match, if you cap the point and she says something and then Deadpool goes in and says some cringy shit back to her, I think it's funny. So maybe keep the in the middle of the match stuff, but at the beginning of the match, just leave it alone.
Yeah, because like it is pretty much every single beginning of the match. It's like go capture the mission area, and then he's just like it doesn't sound like it's gonna be that easy. She's just like, haha, well you'll find out. Like hearing that over and over again is definitely annoying.
Yeah.
But I do agree.
There's only 60 seconds left. Oh, that's plenty of time for me. That's not what Death told me when you were dating her.
It's like when you were dating. I like the best one in my opinion is when hey, defend against his point or whatever, and he's just like, yeah, you go, you got it, Galactica, and then she's just like, it's actually Galacta, daughter of Galactus, you idiot. I like that one. That one's funny. there's
Hey, can you give me a map? I'm directionally challenged.
Yeah,
just follow your team.
Just follow your team. You'll be fine.
Well,
probably.
This goes back to I think kind of what Dave said. These are all mentions that are mid-match.
Yeah.
Somebody posted in our server. It was that meme of "Stop the mission area," and it's a picture of Cap going, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah, basically,
we were all tired. We were all tired of her mentioning it.
Yeah.
And Deadpool, the devs were like, "Hey, I know somebody can tell her to shut up, and I'll tell her to shut up."
And that's why it doesn't bother me. Fuck
but
that.
Just eliminate the beginning match shit.
He did actually mention whilst he was talking, at least during his reveal trailer, because Deadpool revealed himself because it's Deadpool, he kind of had to. There are two key characters, those being Juggernaut and Colossus. He mentioned in which case, up on screen itself, or not up on screen, but
gimme.
There's gonna be. I'm gonna throw up clips for you guys to actually hear it here.
And Colossus and Juggernaut will lose their minds knowing I'm going to be a Vanguard first.
But he does actually directly mention, Juggernaut and Colossus are gonna be. I'm actually a tank or whatever, or Vanguard. Juggernaut and Colossus are gonna be super jealous that I got to be a Vanguard before them.
Yeah.
That does imply that Juggernaut and Colossus are coming to Rivals. Once again, fantastic. I agree with Brendan. Gimme. Mostly just Juggernaut. I don't care as much about Colossus. I care more about his
First
sister,
of all, fuck you, but also gimme.
When it comes to them, that side of things, I care about his sister, not so much him. But I do care about Colossus. He's really, really cool. He also mentions clip here.
Have you seen Scott anywhere, Wade? It's not like him to miss a battle.
Cyclops? Sorry, but your one-eyed warrior isn't even playable. Yet?
I have no idea what that's supposed to mean.
You wouldn't read. But the leakers online are gonna lose their minds.
About talking to Jean Grey about Cyclops, where
also gimme.
Where he actively she mentions something about Cyclops or whatever, and he's just like, "Hey, do you want to mess with the data miners, and we can actually go and find Cyclops or whatever?" She's like, "Wait, what?" He's like, it's fine. He's not in the game yet." So just once again, just a direct way of actually saying it. And also another clip, if I can find it, I'll put it here.
After this battle, we should totally data mine this season's files for juicy spoilers. Who do you think is next, huh? Ghost Rider?
Talking about Ghost Rider. Because I think he mentions, I'm not sure who he's... I'm gonna hurt you. I'm not sure if he's mentioning it just off the whim, or it's obviously we don't have the clips in front of us, you guys do, but so once again, Ghost Rider mentioned. Now, granted, these could just be the ravings of a madman, as Deadpool is known to be a raving madman, or it could be the devs doing what the devs normally do, which is just kind of drip feeding us information as a way of kind of mentioning and telling us, hey, these characters are coming. I don't know, thoughts on Deadpool just kind of quote-unquote spoiling everybody?
Gimme. The only one that I kind of care a little less about is Ghost Rider, and even then,
You're
I guess
wild.
I'm more so curious about which Ghost Rider we would get. Whether it would be Johnny Blaze or Robbie Reyes, or if we're getting or the what? I have no idea what you're talking about. Or maybe we'll end up getting a Lady Loki situation where we get Johnny Blaze first and then we get Robbie Reyes as an alternate skin or something.
Yeah,
I want the Wild West one.
I don't want Robbie Reyes on a bicycle though. I want him in his fucking hell charger.
I can't wait for him to be in the game. I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do, for his abilities.
The chain
whip. And what weapon. Yeah. I mean, they could go with the movie and do the chain whip with the shotgun that shoots the little bolts out the front of it.
Oh my God, they could duplicate Deadpool's taunt as his penance stare.
Honestly,
Yeah.
just make it bigger and more damage. Yeah. There was a small conversation online about his penance stare basically only being better the longer the game goes on. It's whoever is the ace on the enemy team, they take more damage than everyone else if you penance stare them because they're the one doing the
That would
best.
that would actually go crazy. That would actually go crazy.
That would go crazy.
That being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this episode. It is kind of a quick E1 with quotation marks. But, you know, we didn't have that much to talk about. Plus, we gotta get back into the games because Deadpool is really, really
There's
fun.
much to talk about.
Goodbye,
I mean, we still have
everyone.
another like 3/4 of a list.
Goodbye, everyone.
Hear me out. That it would just be a strict like mutant whatever thing. Even though Juggernaut's not a mutant. I look, chat. I know Juggernaut's not a mutant. I know. I would
He's
pair
not?
Colossus.
Don't get him
Yeah.
started. Don't get him started. Don't get him started. Please don't get him started. I don't have time. I don't have time. I will cut this out. I'll do it. I'll cut it out. I'll do it.
So is there a reason Wolverine still has the divots from his costume on his hands?
I can tell you the purpose of those divots if you're interested. It has nothing to do with the costume. It has everything to do with Wolverine.
So why were the divots there?
So they're there to help serve. So you know how, like, on a pistol, right? You've got iron sights that kind of
Yeah.
help line up your aim, and those iron sights also serve to easily lock in a scope or something.
Yes.
So those divots help serve to smoothly and straightly unsheath his claws, so that it causes him the minimal damage or minimal pain to his body. If when he unsheaths them without those divots, his claws can just fluctuate, even if it's like a millimeter up or down either way. Imagine that's a millimeter up and down of a blade destroying your skin as you move about.
It's also a very
Right.
long blade at that.
So it just helps keep it like locked in. You know what I mean? Like it keeps it on point. Put to part
Makes
of the
sense.
Which then
Makes
goes
sense.
into two separate questions. Number one, I'm assuming those are made out of adamantium.
That's actually unclear. I'll be honest, I don't know the answer to that question.
I would assume so. I mean, if they're protecting against adamantium claws, it could cut through anything else.
Right.
Like, theoretically, it should be.
They don't necessarily have to be adamantium. They could be just solid steel, because they're just there to hold something in place. They're not there to impact a full blow. So the structural integrity doesn't have to be all that on point.
So it's kind of like a sheath of a sword, where, like, the sword itself can cut through a bunch of shit, but the sheath doesn't have to be, like, metal.
Like, you can use the sword to cut through the sheath with full force.
Yeah.
But holding the sword in the sheath, it doesn't crack the sheath.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
The more you know.
The more you know.